Yes, and earlier on we talked about calories and what they mean, and the fact that when you look at your food, there's actually no calories inside. Calories are merely the unit of measurement used to quantify the amount of energy you need to digest what it is that you're taking in. Am I getting it right, Dr. Darren Green?
You sound brilliant.
Am I in there,
you are
in the zone? Give us a call, 0839133728, and we'll answer your questions regarding nutrition. So what? So calories are not the best way of tracking your health, then, are they? Are they not?
No, counting calories certainly is a way that a lot of people regulate their weight. But what you need to know, more importantly, is actually what the sub-ingredients are of the food that you're consuming.
Wow.
It's no use counting the calories. It's like having one food source constantly in the right amount just to not exceed your energy intake. In other words, say you have 1.5 slices of bread 6 times a day not to pick up weight. You are not going to be a healthy individual. You might be a thin individual. You might not pick up weight.
Because you're missing out on all the other nutrients that you need
There's
to keep your body going.
so many other things that you're not taking in that are essential to your health from the other groups of foods which are important.
Wow.
And, you know, so the groups are obviously macronutrients and micronutrients.
We'll tap into those in a second. Let's take a live caller on the line right now. Good
Hello, good morning.
Oh, this is Bree calling us from Mitchell's Plain. Thank you so much for your call. Bree, what is your question?
Good morning, Katlego. Good morning, Dr. Green and all listeners. Yes, Dr. Green, I'm holding in my hand a 400-gram tub of peanut butter.
Yes.
You have earlier mentioned that one needs to look at the typical nutritional information or intake that you baby. So now I'm looking at this column thing, and it gives me energy, protein, and carbohydrates, and so forth. It says per 100 gram per single serving. How would I, as a normal mother, read this and understand what I'm serving my baby? For example, I'm referring to the peanut butter, but how do I read this table and know that I'm giving so much energy, so much protein to my baby from this particular tub?
That's an excellent question.
And a great question. The first thing is make sure your baby's not allergic to nuts.
Great.
You have no idea how many people don't know that until they give the first serving of peanut butter.
Only 5 months, almost 5 months, but yes, I hear you.
Cute.
So the other thing that's important here, what do you look at? Obviously, the energy column in kilojoules is something we all skip over because we don't know what normal energy is. But to give her an idea, 1 gram of carbohydrate and 1 gram of protein yield the same amount of energy, which is 17 kilojoules of energy. 1 gram of fat, on the other hand, yields 38 kilojoules. 1 gram of alcohol in a beverage yields 29 kilojoules. So that is a very interesting way and a nice way of knowing about the amount of energy in 1 gram of it. So if there are 100 grams, for example, that are being quoted on the label, you would then imagine 100 grams times 17 will tell you the amount of kilojoules or energy that you're actually consuming.
Yes.
And that's very useful information. The things that she's looking at on the package that are useful are obviously looking at the sugar content and what type of sugars are in it. Yeah. So you'll often find them refer to what's called a gastrointestinal or glycemic index.
Yes.
A GI, what we call the GI, you know, low GI, high GI. And that high GI basically, on this package, for example, beautifully displayed, we can see energy at the top, 304 kilojoules, as I mentioned. The protein in grams, and remember 1 gram of protein yields 17 kilojoules. And then your glycemic carbohydrate, of which total is sugar, is also listed for you. In this case, there's naught over there.
Yeah.
When it comes to the fats, they then subdivided into the saturated and polyunsaturated.
We're going to come back to this because I think this is very, very important when we break down the macronutrients of fats, carbs, and proteins.
Correct.
And then I want to talk about, because I think it references what our caller was talking about right now, especially giving a baby the right kind of nutrients. We want to talk about RDA.
Yes.
The recommended daily allowance and how important that is to keep in mind. But we'll also keep our lines open. 0839133728. I'll say go. Yay. Let's go over to Zoe.